Bonjour, comment allez-vous? This is the Crypto Kid podcast, and today we discuss Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki predicts Bitcoin bull run. So let's get started today. Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is the Crypto Kid podcast. I am the Crypto Kid, and yesterday there was much speculation concerning the identity of Bitcoin developer Satoshi Nakamoto. In the HBO documentary, the producers of the film confront Peter Todd, who is a software developer in the UK, and ask him if he is Satoshi Nakamoto, and he actually denies this claim. So that's very interesting. I believe in general, it's important really to keep the mystery of who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. I don't at this point in time, I don't believe we need to know who Satoshi the real identity. What we need to understand is that this person who's most likely a part of a conglomeration of developers because this project would be too much for one person. Somebody like Elon Musk could actually do it himself, but then if that's the case, instead of working with Tesla and SpaceX, Elon Musk would be putting his energy into developing his own Bitcoin. And let's not forget, PayPal originally was created as a blockchain, and the primary software developer was Elon Musk. Therefore, Elon Musk has already created his own blockchain. What they found is that it wasn't profitable at that time, and so it was more profitable to convert it from a cryptocurrency into a payment processing platform that pretty much provided payment processing for Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. And it's been very successful. And actually, Elon Musk didn't have wealth until he sold his shares in PayPal, and that put PayPal through a whirlwind, and it still really hasn't fully recovered from the loss of Elon Musk. Still, interestingly, today's prices are just sporadic. Bitcoin is down $1,200 to the price of 60,927 US dollars. It makes no sense. There's no headlines. Definitely, the headlines of who is the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto is not strong enough to warrant the market selling off right now. I believe once again, it's just institutional investors churning the market with a bear sentiment mentality. In addition to that, I want to point out an investment webinar that is coming up, and it is hosted by Cardone Ventures, and the host is going to be Natalie Dawson. I'm a fan of her and her husband Brandon Dawson, and they are part of the Cardone Enterprises. And this is going to be this coming Friday, October 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a live training to unlock 3 critical actions you need to dominate the rest of 2024. So I would encourage you to sign up for that. All you have to do is Google, and you'll find that sign up sheet. You can also go to my YouTube, not my YouTube, but my Facebook profile, and I put it in that feed as well. I will find a way to, and I should have put the link in this podcast description. So that is my bad. I'll make sure I include that for tomorrow, or I'm sure I'll do at least a reel sometime later on today, and I will put the link for that reel. So let's move on now to something more promising, which is Robert Kiyosaki. And this is on, I believe, let's Bitcoin News. And let's look at Robert Kiyosaki. And let's see what Rich Dad has to say in his advising for us. And of course, I had all these headlines. Oh, I need to go to news. And this is something you could easily do while you're filming your podcast. So let's look for the head. I lost those headlines. So Robert Kiyosaki. Here we go. Wow. Okay. This is this is interesting. So the first headline says that Robert Kiyosaki warns of World War III amid global tensions. Okay. Why Robert Kiyosaki believes America is falling and Bitcoin can save the people. So let's check out this. This is by CoinGrape. This is an article by CoinGrape. And let's see what it says here. You guys need to be aware of this, and so do I. And so I'm just reading the headline. Why does Robert Kiyosaki believe that America is falling? Robert Kiyosaki has been quite vocal about people achieving financial freedom and gaining it regardless of the economy, the US government, or other macroeconomic factors. It is because Kiyosaki believes that these are pushing the country backwards. And so the role of government. Let's see what his quote is. He stated that he is amazed at all this lying, cheating, and stealing has still kept the country resilient, strong, and undefeatable. Listen, okay. So he actually gives something, and I'm going to be careful in quoting this because I am on YouTube. But the question is, why is America failing? WTF do you expect when lefties promote defund the police and such absurd ideas as if you steal less than $100, it's not a crime? Lying, cheating, and stealing are sins against the soul of all human beings. Wow, that is a powerful statement. So that's a powerful statement. And Robert Kiyosaki is a guy that really shies away from politics and doesn't say that much concerning politics. Most of his statements are aimed at investments despite global political tensions. And in most interviews that you hear from Robert Kiyosaki, he rarely will bring up politics or morality. But these are something that can't be denied. Me coming from the San Francisco Bay Area, doing security in San Francisco, in the state of California, it is still that if you steal less than $1,000, that the police are not going to be called out. And they use $1,000 as the threshold because once you steal $1,000, is grand larceny, and that's a felony. But anything less than $1,000 is a misdemeanor, and misdemeanor theft crimes are not going to be prosecuted. And so that's why you see in California a lot of mom and pops stores going out of business, as well as 7-Elevens, because if people in the ghetto break into a 7-Eleven and steal everything there, the police are not going to be called out unless it's over $1,000. And so criminals know that, and so they target convenience stores in poor neighborhoods, knowing that the police aren't going to come out. And that's going to have a devastating effect on the economy. The craziest thing that these people don't realize is that It's just like with the Watts riots. These riots and burnings of different neighborhoods occurred with the announcement of the assassination of Martin Luther King. But what's interesting is out of frustration, African Americans burned down their own neighborhoods where there were black businesses, black shopkeepers. And then the next day, when it was time to go buy some milk or eggs, you couldn't do that because you had burned down the black business owner. And in most cases, more than 50% of the black business owners never recovered and never opened again. So that does not work. And so Robert Kiyosaki is keen in understanding that robbing, stealing, and cheating is bad for the morality and fabric of the country. And that Bitcoin is a coin that is not regulated by the government. And when we see now, when we get lefties, people with their far left politics who are running the American government, that if you look at the city of San Francisco and the state of California, they're going to allow theft, they're going to allow illegal immigration, and they're only going to prosecute certain crimes, and they're going to allow everything else to occur. And you and I, who are walking the streets daily in the general public, like, it's dangerous in Berkeley. Berkeley is cleaned up, but at one time it was dangerous. San Francisco is still, and growing up as a child, San Francisco is never dangerous. San Francisco is a dangerous city right now. And it is like, if you don't have some pepper spray, I would not walk the streets of San Francisco. So, with that, we're going to sign out. It's interesting that Robert Kiyosaki believes that Bitcoin can save the country. I'm going to have to do a little more research because I need to understand how. Now, I believe, before we sign out, that Donald Trump's proposal to pay off the $35 trillion deficit with Bitcoin by purchasing Bitcoin and paying off the deficit will be great, and it'll be a great legacy for him. But unless JD Vance or some other Republican wins the presidency after Donald Trump leaves, Democrats are just going to come in and undo everything. And it's interesting that the judges kept telling Donald Trump, when he did executive orders to change Obama policies, they were saying you have to go through a process. Yet when Biden and Harris got into office on day one, they signed 92 executive orders undoing a lot of what Donald Trump had accomplished, and no judges objected to that. Instead, they allowed it to occur. And that, to me, is the falling apart of our country that Robert Kiyosaki is alluding to. And that is why we all need Donald Trump as our president. He supports African Americans. He supports Black people. He supports Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And so that is why you are seeing a movement of Black MAGA among African Americans, and they are on a movement to support Donald Trump. I believe right now it's at least 50% of all African Americans are in support of Donald Trump. And we African Americans are the people that determine who the U.S. president is. So therefore, it's already done. Donald Trump has my endorsement. I love Donald Trump. I support him and his policies. And we are going to make Americans rich again. And I know I'm definitely going to become rich during this next Trump Vance presidential term.